Hi guys, Miss Tiff is back again, and today we'll be making some veggie lasagna. So for this recipe, we have some white mushrooms, some baby bella mushrooms, some green and yellow squash, some onion and green, orange, red bell peppers, some celery, 2 cloves of garlic. We have some seasoning here, which is seasoned salt, garlic powder, onion powder, Italian seasoning, black pepper. We're going to use some bay leaf, some grapeseed oil, some breadcrumbs, some ricotta cheese, some oven ready lasagna noodles, and some Parmesan, mozzarella, and sharp cheddar cheese. And then on the side, we're going to cut up these chicken breasts and make them into some cutlets. And we're going to pan fry those with the breadcrumbs. Okay, so right now we have our pan on medium heat. We're going to go ahead and add a couple tablespoons of grapeseed oil. And I don't know if I mentioned to you guys, the reason why I use grapeseed oil and not olive oil is because olive oil actually gives off toxins once it reaches a certain temp, and it's not good for you. Olive oil is not really made for high temperature cooking. And I know they put it in everything, so you don't know. We're going to go ahead and add in our mushrooms. Again, those are baby bellas and some white mushrooms. I think I used about maybe 3 of each. You can use as much as you want or as little as you want. It's totally up to you. Again, guys, I'm going to ask you all to like my video and subscribe if you haven't already. And leave a comment below. Talk to your girl. We're going to cook our mushrooms first, because the more you cook the mushrooms down, the meatier the texture and flavor becomes. Just a simple life hack. And then we're going to mix up our seasonings. We're going to add some of it now, and then some of it when we put the other stuff in. So for this, we just add our veggies and stuff in steps. And steps according to how long they need to cook. So the veggies that don't take as long to cook, you're going to add them last. So you always start with the mushrooms first because they take a little bit longer to cook down. Actually, I'm going to turn my heat up some. Honestly, with lasagna, the most complicated part is mixing the sauces, like your cheese sauce and your meat sauce, or in this case, your veggie sauce. Over just a tad bit. I want my phone to fall. I got a makeshift tripod going on here. My tripod actually will be in tomorrow. I'm so happy. So now that these are cooked down some more, we're going to go ahead and add in our onions and celery and the green peppers, because they can withstand a little bit more cooking than the other veggies can. Tight fight on my cutting board here. I know there's a couple ingredients I left out at the beginning, like the egg and of course the tomato sauce. I didn't mention the tomato sauce, but you guys know that we need tomato sauce for lasagna. Unless we're making like a creamy lasagna, but that's not the case today. So yeah, a little splash one there. And we're going to go ahead and let that saute down some. Oh my gosh, this is smelling quite divine. We'll get that going really good. We'll go ahead and add our garlic. It's okay to add the garlic because we're not doing this at a high temp, so that's fine. I'll let this go for a little bit, and then we can add the rest of our veggies in. and the rest of our seasoning. Again, you want to keep making sure you layer your flavors. That way, in every bite, you're like, this is so good. Okay, so that's about ready. You just want everything to kind of get translucent. And normally, like if you were making this for people that are meat eaters and you wanted a meat substitute, then I would cook my mushrooms a little bit longer. But since I am intending for this to be an actual veggie spaghetti, I am not doing that. So we're going to add in the zucchini and squash. I know I called both of them squashes earlier. Some people say green squash, but it's actually a zucchini. I'll say both. It really just depends on my mood and what comes out my mouth. Go ahead and add that in. We're going to add in the rest of our seasoning. And for this, I didn't really use a lot of the seasoned salt. I used more so the garlic powders and stuff. Look at all those colors. So vibrant and beautiful. Look at that. Look at me. This is some good eats, y'all. So we're not going to cook it down too much because we actually want it to cook really nicely with our sauce. So now that we have that all mixed in and getting wonderful, we're going to get ready to add our pesto. So this is the basil pesto, and it has like basil and garlic and stuff in it. It's so good. I add this to all of my pasta, Alfredo, spaghettis, and all of that stuff. It's really delicious, and it just brings out all of the flavors from Italian dishes. So I added about maybe a heaping tablespoon, a tablespoon and a half. That you don't really want to use a lot of, but you want to use enough. And it's really like according to your taste. So I say start off with a little bit if you haven't used it before, and then see how you like it and just add more. And don't be afraid to like taste your food. Like taste things before you add it to the pot. Don't go off my word or someone else's word. Like taste it and see how you like it. So now we're going to add in the spaghetti sauce. And you can use whatever is your favorite spaghetti sauce. I really don't have a preference because honestly, I just go ahead and do how I feel, and I add my own flavors to it, so it doesn't really bother me. You just want to make sure that it's a nice amount of sauce to this. I like my stuff saucy, so I'm going to add some more. And the reason why I didn't let my veggies cook all the way down, because I like it to cook down in the sauce, so all of the flavors and stuff can get together and be happy. So at this point, I'm going to add 2 bay leaves. I know I told you guys before, I love bay leaves and like sauces and gravy and stuff. It just give it like a different, just give it a kiss of love. And then I'm going to add some more Italian seasoning. Like even though I season my veggies, I have to season the sauce also. And I'm going to add some more garlic and onion powder. That's just my preference because I like to have my flavors layered. I say it all the time, I know, but it's true. Like, you can't have boring food. Who wants that, right? A little bit more pepper. So now we're just going to let this cook down until all of the veggies have softened and all the flavors are distributed nicely. And while that's happening, I'm going to go ahead and start making a cheese sauce. I'll show you that in 1 second. Okay, so our veggie sauce has been going for about 15 minutes. It smells so good. I wish you guys could smell this. And everything is starting to get soft just like I like it. You don't want them to be too soft because they're still going to cook in the oven. So Now that that's almost ready, we can go ahead and get started on our cheese sauce. Okay, so for the cheese sauce, we're gonna start off with 24 ounces of ricotta cheese. You can also use cottage cheese if you want. It's totally up to you. Put it in here. Put it in our bowl so you guys can see it real well. And for this, I love it because lasagna seems complicated, but it's actually quite easy. I never made it myself until my husband started making it. And then he's a carnivore. So when I came to the veggie lasagna, I had to start getting down and dirty. Because he acts like making the veggie sauce is so much more complicated than meat sauce, but it's really not. It's just a thought. You just got to get over the thought. So now that we have the ricotta cheese in there, we're going to use 2 eggs. What? Two. We're going to use some Parmesan cheese. I'll say about maybe a 1/4 cup of Parmesan cheese. And again, you know that Parmesan cheese gives it a nice, real kind of salty, buttery, nutty bite. We're going to add some mozzarella cheese to this. And this, to me, adding the cheese to the cottage cheese or the ricotta cheese actually helps. We're going to use about a 1/4 cup of this also. It actually helps for those that don't really like the texture of cottage cheese because it helps change the texture. Because personally, I didn't like lasagna growing up because people left the cottage cheese like its own separate layer. And I didn't particularly care for it. But this way, I like it. I like it a lot. So now that we have all of that in there, we're just going to go ahead and give it a nice, good mix. Until everything is mixed and blended very well. Hold on, because you guys are rocking. I need to put something behind this. My makeshift stand. Okay, let's see if that works. There we go, so it can have some weight on it. You see, you want it to have everything well incorporated. I might add just a little bit more mozzarella. I think I am. I don't think I added a full amount because it's kind of sticky. It was sitting out, so it kind of got kind of soft. Get that off my hands. There we go. There we go. You want it to be kind of thick, but still smooth. So now we're just about ready to get the layers going. Let's go and check on our sauce. Okay, so our veggie sauce is just about ready. You see everything is softened up. Don't put your hand in a pan like me. Yeah, that's real soft. My fingers are just kind of dead, honestly. I did taste it. It tastes really well. So now it's time to go ahead and assemble. Okay, so to assemble, you're going to start with your meat. Well, I keep saying meat, but it's veggies for us. Take the bay leaves out as you see them. You cannot eat bay leaves. So you just want to put a nice little layer down. As I told you guys before, I like mine to be saucy. So you don't have to use as much sauce. That's why I didn't really give y'all an accurate ounce of sauce that I use, because it's genuinely your preference. We're gonna lay our veggie sauce down. Now that we have that down, we're gonna lay our lasagna noodles. And again, these are oven ready lasagna noodles. So you do not have to deal with the hassle of boiling them, making sure they do not stick. You can just lay these right on down. I'm gonna go across the pan lengthwise. You know, I'm not gonna break it, I'm just gonna lay it like that. Actually, no, I'm gonna try to break it. I don't like to have a nice layer like that. There we go. Let's push it down in there. Now we have one good layer. We got that started. Now we can go ahead and add our cheese. Now we can add our cheese over top of the lasagna noodles. You're going to use about half of your cheese mixture. I hate the way that it moves, but oh well. And also to this, you can add some seasoning to the cheese sauce if you will. That's totally up to you. Again, it's all about your preference. But I'm not going to add it to it. What I am going to do though, I am going to add it on top, just to give it that nice little greenery. So we have the first layer down. Sprinkle some Italian seasoning over it. Okay, so now we have that down. We're going to add some cheddar cheese over top of that. You don't need a lot, just a little. Just to amp up that cheese. Look at that. Beautiful. Okay, now you have the first layer down. We're just going to repeat the process. Add some more of your veggie mixture. And I have my oven heating at 375. I'm going to add another layer. And then another layer of lasagna. And we're just going to continue those steps until you have everything used up. Which is typically like 2 layers. Once you do the 2 layers, that's usually it. Try to break this again. I don't recommend you guys breaking it because it might break up, but just use a longer pan. I'm just using what I had. Uh-oh, that piece fell. Now we can use these little pieces for the corner. There we go. Okay, now we're gonna add the rest of our cheese mixture to the top. So typically I only do 2 layers, but you could do more if you will. Now I have another container of ricotta cheese here, which I think I might end up using because this looks a little skimpy. I was trying not to use it, but I guess I am. So to this one, this is going to be a 15-ounce package of ricotta that we're going to use. And I'm only going to use half of it, but it'll be like 7.5 ounces. Well, you know what, I'm just going to go ahead and use all of it. And then we're going to use 1 egg and the same mozzarella and Parmesan cheese. Okay, so all together, I used 1 24-ounce container of ricotta and 1 15-ounce container of ricotta, 3 eggs, and about maybe a little under a cup of mozzarella and Parmesan cheese. I'm going to go ahead and continue this layer. Of the cheese mixture. And as you can see now that the sauce is on there, it's starting to mix in really well, which is good. You want everything to mix just nicely. You want everything to have a party in your pan. Act like you love each other. Okay, so then now we're going to sprinkle our Italian seasoning on it again. And then we're going to add the cheddar cheese. And now we're going to do our last layer of meat. I keep saying meat, but it's actually veggies. I don't know why I keep saying meat. Maybe in my mind I'm saying meat because typically it is a meat mixture. So for this layer, I'm not going to put as much of the sauce. I'm going to add most of the veggies. Uh-oh, the oven is ready. And I'm not going to put a lot of sauce on this layer. I'm just going to add most of the veggies. We're almost ready to go in the oven, y'all. I'm going to show you the full pan once I'm done with the layers. That's pretty much it. So now to the top. Ooh. Shut up, Sparky. Sorry, guys. So now to the top, we're just going to sprinkle the cheddar cheese on the top. This is it. I'll sprinkle it with cheddar and with Parmesan. And then the mozzarella. Looks delish. And this is a nice way to get your family to eating more veggies, because it's mixed with all of this cheese and stuff. They're going to love it. And you can still use it even if you want to mix it and still use your ground meat. You can use your ground meat with this, totally, and just add the veggies with it also. Have fun with it, like I always tell you guys. It's your recipe, it's your pan, it's your family, your food. Have fun with it. We'll use the remainder of our mozzarella cheese for the top. Okay, so I brought you guys around. This is the final look before I put some foil on it and place it in the oven. There you go, that might be better. Look at that. You see all the cheeses and everything all getting together, being merry. Okay, we're gonna place some foil over it. We're gonna put it in the oven at 375 degrees and cook it for about 90 minutes, which is an hour and a half. Okay, so while my lasagna is in the oven, I'm gonna go ahead and prepare my chicken. See, these I cut up in thin strips. I'll just show you. So you just take it, you hold it down firmly, and you run across the bottom edge of the chicken to make them as thin as you can get them, or as thin as you want them. So I normally do about 2 to 3 cuts per chicken breast. You don't want them paper thin, but you want them thin enough to where they cook fast. For this part, you just go ahead and separate. Just like that. This is what you're looking for. About a 1/4 inch thick. The little small pieces are fine. Okay, now that we have all of that cut up, this is like 2 chicken breasts right here. Just so you know, FYI. I'm gonna add my seasonings. And again, this is seasoned salt, black pepper, garlic powder, onion powder, some lemon pepper, and some paprika. So I'm just gonna add it all. Sprinkle it all in. Just make sure you massage it really well. I think I might be missing something. I always say that because sometimes I just be trying something different, something new. And I really do be missing something sometimes. But this time I just think I want to add a different. That's what I didn't do. I didn't put the Italian seasoning in there first of all. And like I told y'all before, don't be clowning because I done just touched seasoning with chicken. I can just wipe it off, soap and water, bleach. It ain't gonna hurt nobody. Ain't never killed nobody before. So now that we have it all seasoned, we're gonna go ahead and get ready to bread it and put it in the frying pan. So listen, this lasagna has been in for 1 hour and 20 minutes. Oh my gosh. Delish. Okay, even though it's brown like in the corners and stuff, I'm gonna leave the foil off for about 5 minutes. Just because I want that middle part to brown just a little bit more. I wish y'all could smell this. It smells so good. We'll be back. Okay, so now we're about to batter our chicken. Right here, I'm using about 1 cup of breadcrumbs, Italian seasoned breadcrumbs, and about maybe a 1/4 to a 1/2 cup of flour mixed in. We're gonna take our chicken and just dredge it. Now you could probably do a double batter for this part, but I didn't feel like getting my hands all icky and sticky today, so I'm just going to do one layer, one coat. Then we're gonna go ahead and lay it in our pan. You see it's starting to fry already. I'm gonna do one more. So yeah, this is something I just thought about. I'm like, this would be a good addition to the lasagna. The lasagna is almost done. I just looked at it again. I'm about to take it out once I drop this and get this going. That's one piece in there. And again, you do not want to overcrowd the pan because you do not want them to steam. You want them to fry. So we're going to let that fry for a minute and then we'll flip it over. Okay, so I just took the lasagna out. Sorry if you can see the shadow of my phone. Look at that. It's been cooking for about an hour and 25 minutes without the top off, and then the last 5 minutes I did it without the top, and it got this golden brown deliciousness color. I wish y'all could smell this, like, for real. No cap. No cap. Y'all need to smell this. Like, Okay, so we're going to go ahead and finish making our chicken now. Okay, so the chicken has been cooking for about 3 minutes on that side, so we're going to go ahead and give it a flip. You see that golden brown delicious color? So this is kind of like how you do chicken parmesan, and then, you know, with that you'll put it back in the oven. I'm not going to do that with this though. I'm just going to like leave it pan fried. We're going to give it a couple, like 3 more minutes on that side, and then we'll take it out. Okay, so it's been about 5 minutes. Our chicken breast is ready. I went ahead and added that third one because we have some room, so. Check it out. Look at how good that looks. Look at that. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add another chicken breast. Okay, so now I'm putting my last batch in. This is like the third batch. Yep. This is, like I said, guys, this is kind of how I do my chicken parmesan. If you want a crispier crust, you can always add mustard to the chicken with the same seasoning and do it the same way. I didn't really want a crispy crust because I'm already doing the lasagna, so I didn't want to do it like I would do my chicken parmesan, which I'll probably make that a video. But again, we're going to let this fry for about 3 minutes on one side, flip it over, do 4 minutes on the other side. I'm sorry, I got to be opposite. It'll be 4 minutes on this side, flip it over, do 3 minutes on the other side. And then we'll be done, and I'll show you the finished result. Okay, so I'm done with the chicken. As you can see, it's nice, golden brown, and delicious. I'm going to have that with our veggie lasagna. As always, guys, I need you to like my video. I'm going to say it real slow for some of y'all because some of y'all don't be listening. I need you to like my video, leave a comment, share, and subscribe to my channel. And also, if you subscribe, turn on the notifications so then that way when I post a video, you guys get notified. As always, love you guys. Be blessed.